Okay, and there we go. It's 2 o'clock exactly on the clock. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation today. My name is Abisola, and I work with Heirs Insurance Group. It's so amazing to have every one of you here on the call. Like I said, once again, thank you so much for accepting our invitation to come learn, about exciting career path that our future, kids can have. And yeah, we're gonna have a great time here today. I can tell you that for sure. We have seasoned professionals that will brought, the conversation today. They'll be sharing their experiences, what they love about their career, and all of those, inside details that you might not necessarily find, on the internet or anywhere else. So yes, thank you so much for joining us. So I'll just do a bit of a background on, who we are. I mean, Wiz as Insurance Group and why are we even here today, why we gathered everybody here on the call. So Health Insurance Group is one of the actually the fastest growing insurance company in Nigeria. We started out 4 years ago, and we're here today, forging ahead and doing great things in the insurance industry. I know you're unable to chat for those on the call, but a round of applause for the insurance group wherever you are. It's something we're very proud of, and we continue to give our customers, and not just even our customers, but Nigerians, access to insurance as much as possible. So yeah, great works to we at Test Insurance Group. Thank you so much. I can see everyone is currently clapping, so we'll take that. Yeah, so we're just going to get straight into the conversations immediately. Like I said, this is the Health Insurance Career Explore Workshop, and would essentially, be talking about non-conventional career paths that parents can, look up to for their kids, and even the kids themselves. I know we have some students on the call today. So if you're a student currently maybe in your junior secondary school or possibly even in your senior secondary school, I can assure you that you've come to one of the great sessions where you can learn and take away things that could help you as you grow in school and also just in life generally. So yes, thank you so much. Also, a big congratulations to participants of our Heirs Insurance SA Championship. That's what brought us here today. Every year at Heirs Insurance Group, we have an essay competition for students in junior secondary school where they get to write an essay, and the best performing students then go ahead to win scholarship. But for us, right, it goes beyond just those first people or the final winners. How do we give value to every one of the students that have participated in the competition, right? So this is one of the ways in which we're able to do that. We're able to give value, we're able to share knowledge, with all of the participants of the essay competition. So if you're here and you participated in our competition, we want you to know that we're very proud of you. And a huge congratulations to you for taking our time to write and then also submitting your essay, even in time, because at the point we had to even extend the timeline because some people had mentioned that they wanted to participate and they were, all of that. So a huge congratulations to you. If you are there, please give yourself a round of applause. We encourage our parents also to just, really, really encourage and appreciate the students, for participating. It's not easy to learn about a topic and then now sit down to think and also now write about this, topic that you're being asked for. So we're very proud of it. It was very important to, mention it that we're very proud of, your efforts, and we look forward to when the results come out later next month. So yeah, I would definitely communicate that. So yes, we're now back into our session. This Career Explore workshop, like I said before, we will be talking about different non-conventional career paths, actually four. So we've listed about four of them that we'll be talking about today, and we have our facilitators on the call ready to share insights. So I'll just quickly list out all the career paths that we'll be touching on today, and then we would have the session one after the other. I know you might also have questions that you want to ask our facilitators. Please kindly note your questions down. At the end of all the sessions, when all of our facilitators have shared their knowledge, giving us insight into what they do, you will then have the opportunity to ask questions, and then they will in turn answer your questions. So yeah, getting straight into it. I have four people. It's career in technology, career in tech. We'll be talking about insurance, of course, because we're an insurance company, it's very important for us to be able to tell you about insurance and what we do. And yeah, the career path in insurance as well, very, very key, an exciting field. So yes, career in insurance as well. We also have investment banking and finance. So yes, we'll also be talking to you about investment banking and finance. And lastly, we will also then talk about content creation. I know that's something some of our parents or even the students are looking forward to, discussing. But not to worry, we're going to take all the sessions and then you get to learn. And like I said before, also ask questions from the facilitators. Um, After the session. So I'm just going to do a quick introduction of our facilitators, and then I'll bring in the first panelist. We would, discuss with him about what he does, his career, and then he's going to tell us about career in technology. So yes, we're going to be starting with career and technology, and the facilitator for that we have Peace on the call. Peace is our chief digital officer at Heirs Insurance Group. He oversees everything technology that we do in Heirs Insurance Group. So yeah, hello Peace. It's nice to have you on the call today.
Hi, Abisola. Good afternoon.
Thank
Interesting to be
you.
here. Hello, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so please, before I get straight into you, let me just do a quick introduction of our other facilitators. So we can let them go be in the, waiting area, and then we'll bring them on when it's time for them. Also taking the session on insurance, we have Joker. Joker is a sales executive manager actually here at Heirs Insurance Group. Hi Joker.
Hi, Bisola. Excited to be here.
Thank you. Great. We're so happy to have you here as well. Thank you very much. Also on the call, the facilitator taking the investment banking and finance part of, the conversation today. We have Olushola Taiwo from United Capital PLC, one of our sister companies at Heirs Insurance Group. Hi, Olushola.
Hi, Abisola. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here, Olushola, as well. Thank you. And finally, taking the content creation part of our conversation today, we have Praise Adio, a communications executive here at Heirs Insurance Group. Hi, Praise.
Hi, Abisola. Thank you for having me.
Great. So yeah, it's very lovely to have you all on the call today. And we appreciate you joining, taking our time to prepare for this, and then also just willing to share knowledge with like the next generation, young minds in Nigeria. So we do appreciate you for that. So yeah, so I'm gonna have our other facilitators in the waiting room while we take Peace. Peace today will be starting the conversation. Telling us about career in tech, and yeah, we'll just take it up from there. Hello Peace. So quickly, starting off the talk, right? First of all, tell us what you do, and also it's very important for us to know if you were to explain your job to say maybe a 6-year-old, because I know we have some students on the call that probably just in just as one, right? So if you had to explain your career or what you do to a 6-year-old, how would you explain it to them?
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, my name is Peace, and it's good to be here with you all to discuss technology. So what I do, the crux of what I do is solving problems. Technology has given me the ability and the privilege to help people to solve problems. So whether the problem is helping somebody to do things faster, or helping somebody to make more money, or helping somebody to save costs, that's what technology does in simplest form. So there are different variants of it. I could be also doing things to, help people to feel better. Like maybe I'm creating a game or something. So technology basically is something that solves problems, any kind of problems, or creates, as the case may be. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Peace. So parents, our students on the call as well. You heard it from Peace. Peace works, like I said, is the chief digital technology and essentially works in the technology space, essentially just solving problems. So I guess try this call, we can call Peace our problem solver. If you have any problem whatsoever, I guess Peace would help us solve some of those problems. Okay, so
With
yeah, Peace, I
technology.
hear you right on technology being a problem solver and just essentially making things easier for people. And I know you've also been doing this for like a while, right? So what's that one thing that like is what you love the most about the career, like career in tech, right? There are quite a number of them, which we'll still get to eventually. But what's that one thing that you love the most about this particular career?
So the one thing I think I like most about being in technology is that it's giving me the privilege to help people. Yes, and I enjoy solving problems and I enjoy helping people. So when I create an application that helps someone to do something and the person is happy about it, I'm also happy about it. When I create a solution for a customer to do something better, or for him to do something faster, for customer to be able to make a payment, or even a game that makes a child to relax, I'm also happy about that. So that's been the most rewarding aspect of my career as a technology person. Thank you, Abisola.
Amazing. So I guess this about people and just seeing like the smiles on their faces as technology comes to make their work better and all of that. I mean that makes complete sense, really. So I guess the next thing I'm really curious about and is really important, as a takeaway for participants today is how does your work, how does it contribute to society, really? Like, yeah, you've talked about how you solve problem. I'm sure doctors in the hospitals too, they'll say that they solve problems as well. They get people healthy and all of that. But when we're talking about tech, exactly, how does it, contribute to the society at large and also the economy? Because I'm sure the parents on the call today and also the students, they want to see if they go into tech, how does the work that they're doing currently, how would it eventually like impact the country or society that they're living in? There's really the need for people to have that feeling of impact.
Good thing about technology is that there are different aspects of technology. So some people may want to go into the coding and programming aspect of technology. What that does is you're able to create solutions that helps people to do things. So for instance, if you want to move from one place to the other, you would use maybe an Uber or maybe a boat. That's a technology that has helped people to solve problem. In the past, people would have come out, maybe they're looking for a cab, they'll have to wait at the bus stop and all that. But right now you can connect with someone that has a taxi and you can easily do that. Also, for instance, in insurance, people don't have to go to our offices to buy products. From a mobile app, they can easily just buy an insurance product easily, or even from dialing a code from maybe a feature phone like a star 1100 hash. So in different aspects of technology, I mentioned the aspect of programming. There's also the aspect of data and artificial intelligence. Now I know all of us know what ChatGPT is. So any information you want, ChatGPT is a world of knowledge and data, and anything you ask, it's going to be able to produce it for you. So for instance, I want to create a PowerPoint presentation, or I have a problem that I want to solve and I need more research for it. I'm able to, query that database and get information. That's also another way that is contributing to society. So people are more knowledgeable. Knowledge is more easily accessible than it used to be in the past. In those days, people have to buy books, physical books. They'll have to study and study. If you want to search through information, you have to go through it, a lot of materials. But right now, at the click of a button or just with a prompt, you can get all of those information at your fingertips. So it's beautiful. Even with all of the social
Right.
media apps that we have today, people are able to reach other people. And there's also other aspects of technology. I will not be able to go into all of that, but really,
Yeah.
society is not going to remain the way it used to be because technology is here. And I encourage all of
Fantastic.
us
Thank you so much.
interested. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peace. I mean, I guess that just even talks about how we're currently here right now. Thanks to technology, we can have this session. We have over 400 people
Absolutely.
on this call currently listening to, how technology is impacting the society. So yes, I guess this is just a very, very, very timely example of how, tech has sort of like improved or rather contributed to society and just even the economy at large. I know businesses, just like you said, for insurance now, you don't have to visit the offices of an insurance company to buy a product. Same as, banks and the rest of them, you have access to, mobile apps and all of that. So for parents on the call, students as well, this is sort of how technology impacts the society. It's more than just, a laptop somewhere. It's actually real life. I'm sure everyone has a mobile device or a computer. That's why they're able to join this call. So the fact that you're even able to do that is as a result of the work that someone that works in technology, has contributed to society and the economy. So yeah, thank you very much, Pete, for that response. And before I let you go, so yeah, I mean, you talked about all of this. How can young people, how can they start young? Like, what are the opportunities for young people in this particular career field? What's there really?
There's a lot, but the easiest ones that you can start with is coding. There are different kinds of coding languages that you can start with at any level, even from primary and nursery school. There are coding games that you can also start with. There's Python, there's SQL, there are different coding languages and data languages that you can start with. From there, the journey actually just starts. If you don't want to go into programming and other aspects, there's also security, information security. That's knowing how people can be secure when they are online, when they are using technology. That's also a beautiful aspect of technology. So, and there's no, you can start at any point, right? And all of these things are actually available. You can go on YouTube. You can also decide to even go into the more technical aspect that has to do with fabrication of maybe electronics, devices, and motors, and all of those kind of technology. Today, we have self-driving cars, cars that drive themselves, that can move from one place to the other. So all of that is being done by technology. So I would recommend you start with the data aspects, maybe those data coding languages. You could also go into some other more developed coding languages like C#, Python. Some of us already do all of those in school. Those things are beautiful. If you start young, now you can start creating apps by yourself. In fact, you can even create games that you can host in the stores, in Play Store, that other people can start using and start enjoying. So we're not too young to start all of those things. So I encourage all of us to get interested in tech and find out all of the tools that are available and start using them. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, PS. So parents, you heard it from our chief digital officer. Kids at their, very young age can even begin to, dabble into tech by just, little coding here and there, playing with data and all of that. Even on Excel, really. I know that's something that the data guys also just work with. So parents, I guess this is something to think about. I mean, summer holidays is currently upon us, right? So, you might just want to consider, this particular opportunity, just rather than just being at home, kids can enroll in watch YouTube videos that, of course, I know that is readily available, comes at no cost, and just get them engaged with with technology, very unlike this. So yes, thank you very much, Peace. Lastly, before I let you go, really, so that's also just bring all of what you've said home. If your career were to be a superhero, right, what would it be? In just one.
Superhero, I would say it will be Iron Man. If we all know Iron Man, he's that guy that wears that costume and he has a lot of gadgets inside. He's always creating things that he uses to solve specific problems. If my career was a superhero, he would definitely be Iron Man because he's very skilled, he's very resourceful, he's very smart, and he's always looking for how to solve problems with technology. So yes,
Great.
thank you very much.
Iron Man, it is. Thank you very much, Peace. That was a very, very insightful one, I must say. So kids on the call, students on the call, I'm sure we've all watched one what's it called? Video of Iron
Superhero,
Man, one way or the other. Yes, exactly.
Marvel.
So if you ever thought about being Iron Man, you should definitely think about getting into, technology. Thank you very much, Peace. I can see some questions are coming in the Q&A box. We encourage you to just drop your questions there. Our facilitators would take this session, take the questions rather, at the end of the session. So yes, please, thank you so much for your time. Please just hang around. We'll take our next facilitator, and then when we come to the Q&A session, we'll bring you back in to answer some questions. Thank you. So yes,
Thank you very much.
moving on. Great. Moving on, we'll be talking about insurance and everything that has to do with it, everything pertaining to insurance and all of that. And taking this session today is Jackie, like I said. She's one of our sales manager here at Heirs Insurance Group, and she will be talking to us about insurance. So hi, Jackie. Quickly, just like I
Hi,
asked Peter, I
Lisa.
also want to know from you. I mean, what do you do? And I mean, if you were to explain it to a 6-year-old, how would you do that, really?
So, hi, Bishala, and hi to our listeners, participants. Congratulations again for coming this far. Okay, so as an insurance salesperson, what I basically do is I prefer solutions to people. I give you options. I help you protect your properties, your houses, your cars, your clothing materials, as simple as that, even your toys. So when I come into your house and I assess the property that you have, I have to cost. You give me a list of everything, the costs, and then I tell you, okay, this is the particular kind of insurance that you need. So basically, I help people protect their properties.
Okay, protect your properties. Thank you very much, Joke. So for parents on the call, like Joke said, she works in insurance and essentially she just helps people protect their properties. So I guess if we were to call Joke is like the protector of the universe, possibly.
Right.
Um, yeah, great work you do, Joke. So yeah, how does what you do, just like you said,
Maybe shall I use it?
people's properties and all of that, how a career path. Hi, Joke.
Hi, Rachel, I'm here. Can you listen?
Yeah, so I was asking, I mean, you did talk about how, your job, or rather insurance as a career, is you essentially helping people protect, their properties and all of that, right? So how exactly does it tie back to, the economy and just the society at large as well, especially as a career?
Okay, so what insurance does for you is you literally just transfer your risk to us as an insurance company. So what it means is if you come to me, you take up an insurance policy, I provide you cover for the period that you've paid your premium for. So bringing it down to basic terms, for instance, mommy and daddy has a car, you take up a motor policy, you give me the value of your vehicle, I apply the rates, and then I tell you the premium that you pay for a year. What it means is within that 1 year period, anything that happens by accident to that vehicle, we're going to be responsible for. So we're literally taking away the burden from you. You are free to do every other thing with your phones. You don't have to worry about having to fix your vehicle when there's an accident or when there's a damage. We can even go as far as providing an alternative means of transportation in the course of an accident. So it means that even if the car breaks down, you don't have to take public transport to work. You don't have to think of having to, move around. You don't even have to think of taking buses or Ubers and everything to do your school runs and all of those kind of things. You still have the comforts that you have, pending the period where the issue is resolved and your cars are repaired. So what that does
Right.
is it means that it allows you to be as efficient as you've always been. You can contribute your quota at work. Your daily routines are not disrupted. You are able to go about your daily activities with ease.
Great. Thank you very much, okay. I think my takeaway from that essentially is the peace of mind. So you essentially provide people with peace of mind
That's
that they might already not have or even have, but not really there. Because if they still have to worry about this kind of things, just like you mentioned, it's something that, of course, takes away like the peace of mind. So parents on the call, you heard it from Joker. A career in insurance is your child working to provide peace of mind for people closest to them, people far away from them, and essentially just provide that peace of mind for everyone in the country. And when there's peace of mind, when you have peace of mind at work, you're able to, be productive and give your 100%. When you have peace of mind, that's cool. You're able to perform better and all of that. So yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. Okay. I mean, I know I work with you in insurance. Maybe it's something else for me to come to your department more specifically. But yeah, moving on to like the next question, right? Um, what are like the career opportunities? I know you had talked about like the peace of mind, just like I mentioned earlier, but just bringing it back home, for the kids and like take it away. Like, how can they start young really to get interested in insurance? Like, what's there really?
so to start young is very simple. It's something you can do even at home. You just need to improve your communication skills. You need to learn how to make people trust you. And then you need to make sure that you know what applies to each person. Like I always say, the consultation, the advice you give, it varies per person. Because for somebody, it's a vehicle they have. For someone else, they're just regular homeowners. For someone else, they're just tenants. So each person's needs vary based on their situation. So you as a person, you first of all need to understand their current situation for you to know what advice to give to them. You also need to build your communication skills. So it means that you need to do well with your diction, your spoken English, your courage, because for people to trust you with their properties worth millions, hundreds of millions, some run into billions, they need to have the trust in you that you will handle it properly. So yes, you should be able to build relationship, build and keep. You should also be able to offer tailored solutions for each person based on their own situation.
Okay, thank you very much, Joke. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, being as a sales manager, like I introduced earlier, is very important for you to be able to be trustworthy because you're essentially selling to people and trying to convince them on what they actually need. I mean, parents, you'll be surprised how that even is a difficult thing. Like, people need these things, but to actually get them to, key into it, buy what you're selling to them. That, oh, do you know that you actually need this thing? It's actually something. So yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so that's on the call. This is something to think about for you, right? I mean, a lot of you are currently still in school, and if you find yourself being just that kind of person that is very concerned about like the next person, or you're trying to sell this idea to that person, you might want to consider a career in insurance, because that way you're able to actually help people secure like their properties, like Joke said, their lives, even, right? So thank you very much. Okay. Before I let you go quickly, of course, you also have to answer the superhero question. I think I made a point of note to make sure everyone on this call answers, the superhero question. So really, if your job, a superhero, what would it be?
It would definitely be a superwoman. She has that cape that protects people from harm and damage and every kind of thing. So that's basically what insurance is. I just help you protect all your belongings.
Okay, superwoman. And then I'm guessing Superman for the other gender in this case. Great. Great. I definitely love the feeling of being able to save people from danger and just catering for them really. So yeah, that's a good one. Thank you very much, Joke, for your responses and for taking the session. So we'll just have you down to have the next facilitator, and then when we come back to the Q&A part, we'll bring you back on to answer questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
see
very much.
Yeah, thank you. I see the questions are coming in. Some asking about the recordings. Yes, definitely. This recording would definitely be available on our YouTube channel, which would share the link accordingly. But you can just go on YouTube and type as Insurance Group or Heirs Insurance TV. You would see our YouTube, and this recording would be uploaded after the session. So yes, thank you very much. We'll take your questions. I can see a lot of them are coming in. I love it. We all love it actually. So yes, we'll take our next facilitator now. Talking about investment banking and finance. We have Olushola on the call. Olushola is an investment executive at United Capital PLC, one of our sister companies within our group. Hello, Olushola. How are you today?
Hi, Abisola, and good afternoon to everyone. It's a pleasure to
Great.
be here
Really,
again.
really nice to have you on the call. Really. How's it going?
Very well, thank you.
Good. So yeah, we'll get straight into it really. I mean you heard from Peace, you heard from Joker about what they do and how they would explain it to a 6-year-old. I'm sorry I keep saying the 6-year-old because I mean we have some students on the call, and as much as possible, we want them to see how some of these career paths, how they already know about them, but maybe they don't already. So we just want you to help, tell them what you do, and if you were to explain it to a 6-year-old, how would you explain it? What's investment banking really?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. All right. So investment banking is a branch of finance that is, different from banking as you know it to be. So what do we do in investment banking? We simply just help people to achieve their dreams, right? So whether you are trying to, buy a car, you are trying to buy a new iPad, you are trying to travel, planning to travel to Disneyland, you are trying to maybe go and study in Harvard or at Oxford, at Cambridge, right? As an investment banker, what we do is to look for the best way for you to finance that particular dream of yours, right? Because every dream really, you need all the financial support all the financial support to achieving those dreams. And that's what we really do. Let me also add that apart from helping people, we also help companies too as well. We also help the government too as well to, achieve whatever plan and targets that they have. So for a businessman who's trying to open a new shop, we look for the best financing plan for them. For a government that is looking to build roads, that is looking to build new hospitals, we provide the financing to as well. So that's what we do in a nutshell in investment banking.
All right, thank you very much, Olushala. So yeah, I mean, I hear you about helping people achieve their dreams. That has to be one of like the best, feeling ever. So, see someone, they have a dream. I'm sure, our students on the call have dreams. Someone to become the richest man in Africa, someone to, go and study in international universities, someone to maybe just even like a low dream, just buy their first phone, their first laptops. Those are some of the dreams. So yes, I like the fact that you said that as an investment banker, your job allows you, help people achieve that dream by providing, financing, advisory and all of that, which is great. So quickly tell us, right, what's that one thing? I know there has to be like a lot of things that you enjoy or you love the most about this particular career, but that was that one thing that stands out for you that you want people on this call webinar to take away, as if they were to become an investment banker tomorrow, they can also get to have this feeling. What's that one thing?
Absolutely. So the one thing I'd say I love about investment banking is, the joy that comes with helping people really achieve their dreams, right? So think about, a situation where someone who, wants to, become something really is able to achieve those things. Think about a situation where, maybe you plan to become a businessman, you are provided all of the support that you need to become that businessman. Think about, the joy of having to be, working with governments to build hospitals and build new roads. Those are really what I really like about the joy, the fact that it has very visible impact on the lives of people.
Right. Thank you very much, Olushola.
Mhm.
Impact, very, very important for me. In fact, anything that allows you to have that fulfilling, feeling about, the work you do, you can, see it visibly that yes, because of the work I do, these kind of things are able to, happen. So yes, thank you very much for saying that. I mean, I did hear you say things like help the government build hospitals, schools, etc., right? Um, as an investment banker, like how does it tie back to like society really, like this particular career path that
Mm.
you talked about? How does it impact society even? Yeah, I heard you when you talked about, um helping people achieve their dreams, but how does it tie back? Like why should people even listen? That's something I would like to hear from you.
Interesting. So I will give an example. So imagine someone, was able to study in Harvard, one of the best school in the world, and is able to come back to the country and then give back to the country and then serve in the country. I think that's one very first and visible way that when people really are able to study, where they want to study and gain the knowledge and they can give back those skills to the society. We start from there. I spoke about the fact that we also help businesses. So if someone establish a business, in one way or the other, you have created a job, right? That, daddies, mommies can also get employed. They can have money to, cater for their children. So that's visibly a job creation avenue. And also on the government part is the social welfare, around good roads, street lights, and all of those things. So Those are really the visible impacts, around, working in investment banking. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Olushola. I think my key takeaway from that is how, providing financing for, some of these projects that sometimes the government takes on, that in turn provides jobs for people that, be employed into that. Yeah, so I think that's something very, very, very interesting. So yes, you heard from Shola, Olushola, like I mentioned. Investment banking career would essentially help you achieve your dreams, or help other people achieve their dreams. If I, can correct that. So yes, one more question, actually two. Um, how can, kids, young minds, and even parents, like, what's the takeaway for them in terms of opportunities in investment banking, starting out, yeah, and then taking it from there.
Okay, thank you very much. So it starts right now. It starts, even while you're in secondary school. First of all, you have to be that person who always want to solve problems, who always want to meet needs, right? So if you see a particular need in your school, in your surrounding, approach people, they approach your teachers, and try to provide solution. When you are building that, you are setting yourself to be, the kind of person that an investment banker is. That's the first and the starting point for you. Number two is that as an investment banker, you are relating, or you are going to be relating with a lot of people. So it's important that you are, you have that, aura of, engaging with people. Your communication skills have to be very, very great. So that's the second thing. The third thing I would say is that you have to be a numbers person. So you need to take your mathematics very, very seriously to become an investment banker, right? And then the final thing I would say is to read finance articles, newsletters. When you see them, it's important. As you read them, you continue to build and increase your knowledge base in finance and investment banking. So those are the four things that you can start with to become an investment banker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olushola. I did hear you on the numbers part. And I mean, this is just to encourage our parents and also the students on the call. I know oftentimes some students start out to say, oh, I don't like mathematics, this, that. I promise you that math is quite easy. And like Olushola has said, it's something that, very, very critical if you want to venture into investment banking. So, we just encourage our parents to help the students as much as possible to navigate their way around some of these subjects that they sometimes run away from, either from one reason or the other. So yes, you've just learned that mathematics is very, very important, right? And it's not so hard, really. Thank you very much, Olushola. And now, lastly, this is my last question, and I'm sure you already know what the question is about, right? It's the superhero question, and you have to definitely answer the question as well. I mean, if your career were to be a superhero, what would it be?
I think, hmm, I think if it were to be a superhero, I think it would be Captain America, right? And Captain America, because of the leadership that he provides and brings to the Avengers. Captain America, because he always tried to help people be their best, always help people to achieve whatever goals and targets that they do set for themselves. So yes, I would say Captain America. Thank you.
All right, Captain America, it is. Thank you very much, Olushola. Very, very insightful, submission from you. I see some of our parents have like the questions are a lot at this point, but we just kindly request that you be patient with us. We have just one more facilitator that would quickly just give a submission as well, and then we would take as many questions as possible. We end at 3, and I think we've managed time pretty good. So we kindly crave your patience to some of these questions that are here. We would attend to as many of them as possible. But one question that I would just quickly like to respond to, I think someone had asked if this session is for the Heirs Insurance SC Championship participants or their parents and guardians. Actually, it's for both. So in the communication that we had put out, we had invited both the students and their parents because we want the students to learn, first and directly about some of these career paths. And then we also want parents to also come and learn, to have sort of like a mind shift, right? I know growing up, a lot of us on this end, our parents either wanted us to be a doctor, an engineer, possibly, a lawyer. I mean, those are really great career paths, very, very solid ones, even. But we just also wanted to, expose parents to what more is, possible, other things that students, children can, take on as they now, grow older and all of that. So yes, this session is both for the participants. I won't just even say participants because we have external people here that haven't didn't participate in the essay competition either because it's above their class or whatnot. We just want you to know that this is a very open-ended session for both parents and students alike. So I hope that answered that. So quickly, we'll take our final facilitator for today. And after that, we will then um, take the questions, as many questions as possible. There are over 100 questions there. So we'll see how we can, take the questions within the time that we have left. So yes, quickly, we will now go into the content creation part of it. I'm sure this is a word or a term that a lot of people on the call, both parents and students, are very familiar with. I'm sure you've heard someone say, "Oh, I'm either a content creator," or "Oh, mommy, I'm creating content," or "I'm watching content on social media." All of that, right? And we have our communications executive, Praise Adi, on the call. She's going to be talking to us about what really is this content creation and um, why is it a thing now, and the opportunities that are there as well. So hi Praise, how are you doing today?
Hi, so I'm doing amazing. How are you doing too?
I am doing really great. Very lovely to have you here
Same here.
today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're just going to get straight into it. Of course, you have to tell us why, I mean, what you do, and if you had to explain it to a 6-year-old, how would you explain it?
Amazing. So I'm a communications executive and also a content creator. And when I talk about content creating, I don't want you to just think about the videos that you see on TikTok or on Instagram. So as a communications executive, what I do as a content creator, if I were to explain it to a 6 years old, I would say that my responsibility is making sure that people hear good things about my company, they see good things about my company, and they say good things about my company from the things that I've told them, right? So, and I do this through creating contents, through creating videos, pictures, writing, creating events and stuff like that. So I want to give you some instances now. When Indomie says tasty nutrition, good for you, that person who came up with that line that you just heard, that's my kind of job. When Cowbell says cowbell our milk, that's my job. When MTN says everywhere you go, that's my job. So you know that that's cool stuff. That's something that you can always remember. That's the job of a content creator and a communications executive. So when you're maybe when mommy or daddy is driving you to school, church, or mosque, or anywhere you're going, and you see a billboard of cornflakes, you see Milo, you see the newest movie you want to go and see at film house. That's the kind of job that I do, right? So, and also when mom and daddy are like watching TV or they're watching news and they say something about Heirs Insurance Group, yeah, that's the job that I do. So if you're that friend that you always have something to say, you always want to gist your friends, you always hear the news about what's happening in school first, you just always have the gist. You should be a communications executive. You should be a content creator. If you like drawing, if you like asking questions, if you're always planning something, you're always planning sleepovers. You're always planning your friend's birthday. This job would be amazing for you. So yeah, I think that's me explaining my job to a 6-year-old.
Amazing. I mean, just to have to what Praise said, I mean, for those that might have heard, maybe Simple Life is here is because of the kind of work that someone like Praise does. So yeah, thank you very much for sort of explaining content creation because it's a term, that we hear a lot, almost like a buzzword even, if I dare say so, right? So I think your explanation really brings it home, and I'm sure a lot of the parents on the call that probably had this notion of content creation, it's a career actually, right? I'm sure this better helps them visualize it. So yeah, thank you very much for that. So quickly, right? I did ask, I think, Peace this question, and also Olushola, right? What's that one thing that you love about this, career path? I'm sure there are quite a number of things, but there's just that one thing that has to stand out for you, and what you want parents and students on the call today as well, to take away.
This is an amazing question, Abisola. So my favorite thing, or one of my favorite things about my job is that it is fun, right? Like I said, we're always planning something, we're always saying something. So when people like Joke are like, um focusing on mathematics and the numbers and pieces like what tech should I come up with, and then Shola is like, how do I calculate this? I am on the fun side of things. I'm creating content, I'm making videos, pictures, I'm talking, I'm writing stories. So that's my favorite thing about my job. But that's one fun thing about my job. Another thing is that I love the fact that people get to see what I do. Like I said, if you're driving, mom or dad are driving you to school, and then you see a billboard and you're like, ah, mom, let's get conflicts, or mom, let's buy insurance. I love the fact that people get to see the work that I do. And I also like the fact that I get to simplify things to people. Except, for example, insurance. I get to let people know that, okay, insurance is not just for rich people. Everyone can get insured. Insurance is, when you love your children, you get life insurance. When you love your property, you get, your car insurance, you get home insurance. So I help companies, or I help organizations simplify what they do. And, as a result of that, they make more money. So I love that fact about my job.
Yes, thank you very much, Praise, Adil, for that. So yeah, we're just going to go. So there's this notion about content creators, just like you said, starting the conversation that there are just those people that make videos on TikTok or on social media, just generally, right? And there isn't like so much substance to them, right? Or what they do, pretty much like they're just making videos, and some even have the notion that they're nuisances on the internet, right? But I want you to tell me how, or rather, everyone on the call today, how this particular path, how it, impacts the economy, the society. I mean, why should anyone even go into this as a career path? What's in it for them?
Okay, so let me start by saying that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So when when people, like I said earlier, when people like Joke, when they go do the numbers, make sure that everything is working back end, I'm the one who makes sure that they are, the people who we are trying to sell to, I'm the one who makes sure that they understand, and they're what we're doing is exciting enough for them to want to buy. I gave an instance the other time, saying that if you see conflicts, because I know that there are billboards all over the place now. If you see conflicts, or you see insurance, or you see Milo, Indomie or whatnot, you see their billboard, you feel like, oh, when I'm craving Indomie now, or I want to take conflicts now, right? So when you see things like that, like that, it makes it easier for the organization to be able to sell. So what we do is very important. If not for us, you will not get to hear anything about what organizations are doing, right? And like I said earlier, we simplify concepts. For example, insurance. We're able to let parents know that you should get insurance to protect your child, and because of that, people are protected. I can say thousands of people are protected because of organizations like Heirs Insurance, and that's because people like me are able to tell people, and we're able to let you hear about it. So that's what I would say. There's a lot of depth to what we do as content creators. When you see it on Instagram or you see it on TikTok, it looks like, oh, it's just very simple, it's just someone dancing around, but there's a lot of thoughts that go into all those processes before you see the results.
Great. Parents, students, I mean, you heard it directly from one. So it's not just about the videos you see on social media, TikTok. There's like a lot of work that go into that those videos, materials, graphics, and all of that. And that's pretty much the work of a content creator. I mean, even let's even take those videos for example. A lot of work goes into writing the things you say, editing some of these videos, and making sure that like the audience that consumes the videos get to carry out an action. So parents on the call, students, if you've probably thought about content creation as something very not interesting or something to shy away from. I put it here that it's definitely something to think about and something to explore. As you're growing older now, selecting career paths and all of that. So yes, I still see a lot of questions coming in. We're going to try as much as possible to, take all the questions. Very close to 200 questions now. So yeah, Praise, I heard you very much on, I mean, the impact of content creation as a career, right? But I also want you to tell us, I think this is like the last question really, and you just got to know the question already. This is regarding superheroes. Yeah, this is definitely the superhero question. This is where you get to tell the parents on the call, and most particularly the students, if your career, your job, were superhero, what would it be?
Okay, so I cannot I tried to look for one particular superhero, but I couldn't find. But when you're watching an animation, cartoon, or a superhero movie, and there's one person always saying, I have an idea, I think we should do this, I think we should do that. That's the person I would say. I can't say one person in particular, but that's the person I would say that my job is. One person always trying to like shoot video, always trying to take pictures, always trying to draw, always trying to say something. Yeah, that's I can't mention a superhero, but that's the kind of like, yeah,
Okay, I
that's what
guess
I'll
what we
say.
can do is, leave it in the
Yeah.
leave it for our participants to give us one superhero. So Praise has refused, not refused, I guess it was just very difficult, right? So if you're a student on the call, and I mean you've heard Praise, speak about content creation, and you also are already exposed to it. Tell us if you were to explore it as a career, what superhero would it be? One question I didn't ask you, Praise, and thank God I remembered, was, I mean, what are the opportunities for like young ones? Because I can see some of the questions on the call is relating to that. Like, what are the opportunities there for people? How can they start young? Someone even asked how sustainable it is, as a career path, especially in current times. So I'd like you to just respond to that question altogether.
Guys, this job is very sustainable. Let me start there. Like I said, you can work in any organization, right? This is not limited to finance, it's not limited to what you can work in any organization, because I can tell you for a fact, give me one organization right now and I can tell you that they have a content creator there, they have a marketing person in that organization. Because like I said, without us, you guys will just be like companies will just be doing things on the inside and nobody will get to hear about it. So it is very, very sustainable, and I can also say you get to make a lot of money, because even the content creators that are, give for example Eniolua, Lai Wasabi, all those type of people, they're making a lot of money. So it is extremely sustainable. What are the opportunities? How do you get to start? Make videos. And I really want to talk to our parents. Like, if you have a child that is always talking, always asking questions, always like, Mommy, I want to do this, I want to do that, let me help you, let me, this is the job that they can do. When they go to birthdays and they're like, Mom, give me your phone, I want to make a video. Those are the type of things that they can do. And also, like, let them go to YouTube, search CapCut, so that when they make those videos, how do I join videos together on CapCut, how do I lay my voice on CapCut, from there they can continue. I also wanted to say that if you like to draw, for example, the animation you guys always see on Indomitable, it is someone who came up with that script, it is someone who came up with that animation, the drawing, right? We have those type of people in our office rather. So that's something that you can also do. Also, I would advise you to join a club in your school, maybe a writing club, or you can even create one. So those are the things, those are the opportunities, and that's how you can get started.
Great. Thank you very much, Praise. That was very fantastic. So parents, you heard it directly from one content creator, to everyone here. It's very serious. It's a serious career path, very sustainable even. And we just encourage you to allow the kids, take on some of these things and just see how it goes. Honestly, you never really know which one would turn out great, essentially. So we're just going to go straight quickly into the Q&A sessions. I know we have over 200 questions now. We'll, as much as possible, try to take, as many questions as possible, really. So quickly, I think we have one question here for Peace. Hi, Peace. Hello, Peace.
Bisola.
Okay. Hi, Piers. So we have one question here. Someone asking, when you say data, what exactly does it mean? Apparently, the 11-year-old child, which is also on the call, heard you talked about data, and they just thought you meant MTN data, data that we use to connect to the internet. So, this person wants you to explain to her what data, is, so she gets to understand. And thank
Okay.
you very much,
Thank you
for
very
sending
much
this
for
question.
the
Very important.
question. Okay, so the MTN kind of data is actually called data bundle. So that's what you buy so that you can use to get access to the internet. So how the internet functions is, as you have access to the internet, you're actually using up information. If you search for anything, it's using up that data bundle, and that's why it gets used up. Just like credit on your phone, when you make a call, the credit gets depleted. The kind of data I'm referring to is data that relates to information like numbers, maybe how many books you have, um, pictures, videos, all of the things that relate to information. That's what we have in the world of data. So it can be maybe numbers. As you have in an Excel sheet, you can have numbers, you can have tables, you can have charts. They'll have rows and columns, or it can be videos like content like praise in realm of what Praise does in content creation. So every kind of thing that has to do with data is what I meant when I was talking about interaction with data. The other type of data for MTN is data bundle, and that's what you
Okay.
buy for you to get access to the internet.
All right. Thank you very much, Peace. So just to add to that a little bit is so data is like the raw form before something begins to make sense to you as information. It what you had before was data. So think of it like the number of people in your school. How many people are in your school? How many male? How many female? So those numbers, those are what we refer to as data. So imagine you want to count the number of people living in Nigeria. How many women are in Nigeria? How many children? So by the time you begin to figure out what those numbers are, um, it now becomes data. That is what data is. And then if you process it further, you can then now call it information. I hope that answers that question. So Pete, one other question here. Someone had talked about how, you know, a child, someone young, of course, can learn coding. Like, how can they start with coding?
Okay. So coding, I spoke about different languages that you can start learning with. A very simple one really would just be Python. And there are games. So that, for instance, there's code.org. You can just go to www.code.org. You will see different kind of games. Some of them are very interactive, like they are like you're playing game, but they're actually teaching you basic programming before you start getting into the more serious ones like C Sharp. So all of this information are available on YouTube. So I would encourage your parents to allow any child that is interested in programming to have access to this information. I have an 11 and 10-year-old, and they create apps that they can even publish to the stores. Their school allows them to do those kind of things. So, but they also watch a lot of YouTube videos to get this information. So, I'm able to help them to create a Python lesson that is appropriate for their level, and they're able to learn that. So, I'm talking about Python over and over because it's a very good foundation to start with if you want to go get into programming. So, I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. So I have one other question here before I know you need to dash piece. But someone had asked what subject combinations should they consider as they, move into senior secondary school if they are considering a career in technology?
Fantastic question. So, number one, mathematics. And yes, then physics. So all of the science subjects, maths, physics, but primarily if you love maths, and maths is really simple. I used to even tell people in secondary school then that I thought maths was way simpler than English. Some people didn't agree because it was just really easy. If you know the formulas, you know how to go about it. It's just easy. So maths, physics, and any other science subject that's available. Chemistry, well, at some point, but all the science subjects are relevant for you if you want to go into coding, but I really recommend maths and physics.
Okay, yeah. Lastly, now, please. This same person also just wants to know, now moving to the tertiary institution, what courses could they be looking at if they want to have a career in tech?
Okay, so there are a lot of them. currently today, there are also conversations around artificial intelligence. I try not to go into all of that in this conversation, but for courses that you want to do, courses in the faculty of science, the faculty of engineering, so specifically engineering courses, electrical engineering, computer science, maths, physics, all of those courses are available in universities also. If you study any of those science and engineering courses, then you are well on your way. There are also specific courses also too that are now more directed in directed areas of technology. There are artificial intelligence courses, there are data science courses, data engineering courses that you can also take. All of these are available in universities. So whether you're planning to study in Nigeria or abroad, so any course in the Faculty of Science, Faculty of Engineering would be a good start for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Pierce. It was great to have you today. To share knowledge with our parents and also our students on the call. That's just about the number of questions we can take for the technology part. I know you have a couple more. We'll try to see how we can answer them one way or the other. But
If you have
definitely,
it, let's go. Can you do a few more minutes?
Okay, we can take a few more. Oh, fantastic. Just a moment. Okay, so I can see one here about coding. I think you had answered that earlier. Oh, Pete, a lot of people were asking to meet you. Well, we'll see about that. You can follow us on our social media. You definitely see one or two things to learn from Peace there as well. Someone also is asking, yeah, so someone is asking really like, so yeah, they know about computer science as a course of study in the university, but they're really concerned about if universities really teach tech and computer science in a right way for their kids to be able to I guess it's just getting your opinion essentially.
Okay, so if you want to get my opinion on that, if you're referring to say maybe schools around our environment, around Nigeria, I'll say probably not. A lot of the things you learn, will be more, it will be difficult to relate those things to real life. So what I'd advise parents to do is to expose their children to this information. They are available on YouTube. So if you're trying to go into data science or data engineering or coding, anything at all that has to do with technology, there are videos you can watch that teaches all of these things, even mathematics and physics. So I would say to complement whatever it is that you're going to get in the university, also make it a point of duty to make a plan to develop. So Abisola can share, our contact details that, can assist further to help you create a plan that you can follow in terms of career, or get interested in getting this information by yourself on YouTube. They're actually available there.
Okay, thank you very much, Pierce. I know you can take a few more questions, but we actually can't because of time. But parents, you heard it from Pierce. So yeah, while school is important to go to school, it's also just very critical that you begin to expose the student children, to some of these concepts. It's available on YouTube, on the internet, really. Just type and then you find resources that can help them. So thank you, Pierce. That's as much questions we can take for tech. So we'll take a couple questions for insurance as well. Oh, okay, there's quite a number here for you. So Joke, I'm sure you would want to answer. Someone is asking if it's possible for students to have insurance and what kind. I know we have some education insurance plans, but maybe you just want to speak to them briefly while I get the other questions ready.
Hi, Risala, thank you. So yes, there are possible insurance policies for students. However, they will not be the ones to take it up themselves. It will be the parents. But that falls under the life insurance aspect. So what parents can do is they can take up a children education fund for their kids. So it means that if I have a child now that is probably in high school and I want to take up a policy for when they want to go into tertiary institution, I just give the insurance company the price range for the tuition, the school that I intend to enroll them in. So say the annual tuition is about 5 million. You provide that information and then you say, okay, this is the age of the child. To ascertain when the child will now go into tertiary institution, they apply the rates and then you pay the premium. So what it means is that when that time comes and the child is going into the university, the insurance company will pay their tuition annually. So the parents have taken the burden upon themselves. They've taken it off themselves to the insurance company as long as they pay their premium in full.
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Joker. So parents, you heard that. Yes, you can, take an insurance policy for your children, while they're still in school, the education fund, and that will just help you take it. Like Joker said, what we essentially do is give, people that peace of mind. And that also boils down to why she's Wonder Woman, Superwoman, actually. So yeah, thank you very much, okay, for that response. One more question I'd like to ask. So this person is asking, what are the types of insurance and what are the benefits of these ones? So maybe you could just help us with maybe 2 or 3 um plans, and we'll move on to the next question.
Thank you, Bisola. So for insurance, we have the life and the non-life. The life has the one that covers your pension, your annuity, your children education trust fund, and all of those ones that has to do with life. So for life insurance, you cannot indemnify. What indemnity means is that you return something to the state that it was before the loss or the damage occurred. But because you cannot put a financial value on life, you only provide benefits. So everything that has to do with life, loss of life, anything that may happen because of death, falls under the life harm. So for parents, like I said earlier, you want to make sure that your child's education is not disrupted in the case of an event. You take up the Children Education Trust Fund. For the whole life, these are policies that you take that you pay premium for the rest of your life or the rest of your working life or a period of time. You can say, I want to pay my premium in 10 years. And then you yourself decide the sum assured that you want to take insurance on. So myself, for instance, say I'm a 40-year-old working class person and I want to have a policy of 100 million. They will take my age, my job, because there's some jobs that are high risk. It means that anything can happen to you at any time. For instance, the pilots, the premium a pilot would pay would be different from the one that a medical doctor would pay, because of the kind of job that they do and the risks that they're exposed to. So I give them my age, my occupation, and the sum assured that I want. So if I tell them that I want 100 million and then the rate is applied, they tell me that, okay, I have to pay a premium of maybe 5 million annually, maybe 10 million, depending on your age, your occupation, and the sum assured. You can decide that you want to take a policy of a billionaire. So what that does is, in the case of death, the beneficiaries on your policy will be paid that money. Somebody dies now, he has an insurance policy of a billionaire. When he dies, you fulfill all obligations, due diligence is done, the money is paid to them. So that's why he said it is benefits that are paid to those that will be affected when the policy holder dies. Maybe a child's education may be affected in the case of a father's death. It takes up a child education fund to make sure that no matter what happens, they complete their education to the standard and the extent that you want. So if you say that I want my child to go to Harvard, for instance, but of course we all don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, you can take up a policy to say that the tuition for Harvard is $100,000 annually. I'm using that as for instance. So you calculate, you give me that information, we calculate that premium. So even if the person the moment you've completed all the onboarding process and you take up your policy today, if the person were to die on Sunday morning, that child will still go to Harvard. Because you have paid. So even if you were to pay the premium for 10 years and you pay for only 1 year and something happens, that contract still stands. For the general, that's why we have the one for property. Everything that has to do with your property, your houses, your cars, your buildings, your clothing for your house owners, your jewelries, your television, every single thing that you own, your premium is applied. For motor, for instance, the flat rate is 5%. So if you say that maybe have a Brabus G and the value is about what? 500 million, you apply 5% against 500 million, you know what your premium comes to. So that's about 25 million. That's your annual premium. So it means that if you give me my 25 million, if anything were to happen to the car in the space of that 1 year, even if it is a total loss, you will get your 500 million naira back. So long as it's a legitimate claim.
Yeah.
So yes, the general, that's the non-life, and then we have the life.
Okay, thank you very much, Jaka. So parents, you heard that. We have the life insurance, that covers life, and then we have the non-life, which is called the general insurance, that covers like your properties, your cars, your house, your belongings, and all of that. So yes, and of course the benefits, just like Jaka explained, are there. Joke, so quickly, someone else is asking, I'd just like you to keep this brief as much as possible. Is they want you to explain marine insurance. Like I'm guessing that they've heard about marine and they just want you to talk about it briefly. So yeah.
So marine insurance falls into two parts. We have the marine cargo and we have the marine hull. The hull basically covers the vessel that carries the cargoes. Everything that happens, every part of the machine, anything that happens to it, the damage that happens to it is covered under the marine hull aspect. For the
That's the
cargo,
ship now, right?
yes, for the vessel, the ship, the vessel, yes.
Okay.
For the cargo, it means that the cargo are the goods, the items that you are carrying, that you are shipping from point A to point B. Your marine cargo insurance covers it. So if anything were to happen to it at sea, you will get indemnified for it. So the two harms of the marine insurance.
Okay, I hope that person that asked the question got that. So Joke, someone is asking if they can start a career in insurance as a secondary school student. I would like to hear your thoughts on that. I know, of course, you have to have finished uni and etc. etc.
So
But
you don't particularly have to have finished uni. You just need to have
okay.
attained the legal age of 18. 18
Oh,
is
right.
the legal age to enter the labor force in Nigeria. So even if you were to finish your secondary school at 18 and you want to start up in insurance, you can start up as an agent. So
Right.
the agency part of it gives you freedom to work with any insurance company of your choice. You start up
Right.
from there, you take your certifications, you take your courses, and you grow from there. But you just need to be of legal age first.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. Okay, there's still a lot of questions on insurance here. So everyone, please, you can visit our website, like I mentioned earlier, or our YouTube channel. So for our website, www.airsinsurancegroup.com, you would learn everything about insurance, from our website. And then you can also visit YouTube to watch a movie. So we created like a web series that would essentially teach you about insurance. It's called The Underwriters. So yes, you can go to our YouTube at Heirs Insurance TV on YouTube, and you'll be able to learn about insurance. Unfortunately, we can't take more questions on insurance now. We'll move on to the investment banking part of it. So we can take some questions from there as well. So please do visit our website. Like I said, www.hairsinsurance, that is HEIRS insurancegroup.com, and then you'll be able to learn everything about insurance. Also, you can go to our YouTube, and then you can watch videos about insurance from there. Yeah. So hi, Olu. Thank you very much, okay, for answering the questions and for joining us today. It was very, very lovely to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bisson.
Yes. Hi, Olushola.
Hi,
Thank you
Abdulsalam.
so much for standing by. So yeah, a lot of people are very, very interested in investment banking apparently. So I'll just take a few questions. Someone is asking how investment banking helps the society. I think you did answer that earlier, so we can just move on to another one. Well, very good question. Someone says, how does the common man get access to investment banking? I know you had listed out some stakeholders that you guys work with. You did talk about like the government, talk about like everybody. So just help answer this question as much as you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, how does a common man have access to investment banking products? I imagine that's the question here. So, um, we do have a lot of products that helps you to save your money, and then we can help you invest those money, and that money can grow over time by adding interest. So we have what we call the mutual funds investments, where you invest in a mutual fund and you continue to invest there and continue to grow your earnings, right? So there are certain mutual funds which we call money market mutual funds. Those kind of mutual funds invest in government, um, um, treasury bills, government securities, and all of those things. I don't want to go to all those technical details, but those monies invest. Now we have equity mutual fund. That is the fund that invests in shares. That's perhaps the ones that people are very much familiar with. And then we also have fixed income mutual fund. That's the mutual fund that invests in bonds of companies that and all of those things. So we do all of these products. They are very easy. With a 5,000 naira to a 10,000 naira, you can start investing. You can start planning that vacation if you want to save towards it. You can start planning your child's education over a 5 or 10 year period as well. So if you want to
Okay.
have access to it, yeah, you can check out United Capital platform, and then we'll get in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olushola. I think my key takeaway from that, where you talked about we starting as little as 5,000 naira, one could, begin to invest in achieving like their dreams. Very, very nice submission there. So someone is asking, is stock and shares categorized as investment banking? As that is that person's, area of interest. And yeah, if you could just speak to that.
Absolutely. So shares, or what we call securities trading or equities trading, is a part and a branch of investment banking, right? So in investment banking, we have the primary market and the secondary market. Now, the primary market is where, as an investment banker, we, raise money for companies through equities. Equity simply means that you have an ownership. You are part of the owners of a particular company, so you can buy the shares of a company. Now, that's what we do, in the first part of investment banking. Now, when it moves to the securities trading or equities trading, what it now means is that you can now buy the shares from another person. So let's say, for example, I own United Capital or shares. I can sell that shares to you, right? So that you now become the owner of that share and part owner of United Capital. So that's the way shares work. And then we do have a division within United Capital that handles securities and equities trading.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, of course, if this is something, just like you said, that it's a thing of interest for you, you can definitely check out like our sister company, United Capital PLC, and you'll be able to, get answers to some of those questions. So Shola, someone here sort of like is responding to what you said, because apparently you had said every plan or dream needs finance, which is true. Right. So this person is asking, as a student who has limited sources of income, how can he or
Mhm.
she finance his or her dream? Very valid question. I know you probably say, I mean, that's where the parent come in, but kids these days also, exposed to like money and finance bit by bit. So I would like you to answer from like that angle, if that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. So it starts with having the saving culture, right? So that's where it starts with. So um um traditionally they say don't hit with all your 10 fingers, right? So you have to save every part of your money. So when you have that saving culture, you can look at how much do I have to save to reach a particular level, and then you can open like a mutual fund or an account with us and continue to save. Now, the interesting thing about saving with an investment bank under the asset management business is that as you save, your money is invested and it continues to add interest, right? Right. So no matter how little you have, really, it's not about the size, it's about the culture of saving that you have. Continue to save five 5,000 every month, 10,000 every month. It goes a long way by the time you compound the interest, because as you put the 5,000, there's an interest, and then you put another 10,000, there's an interest on that interest that was accrued in the previous month, and it continues to grow every day. So it's a culture that you need to build.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ola. One last question before we go. Um, Yeah, okay. Before I say the question, I'd just like to react to what you said. So parents and also like students on the call, you heard it. As kids, students, growing up, yes, I know there's no sense of income yet, but I'm sure, going to school, mommy and daddy, gives you pocket allowances, if they still call it that, and all of that. So from there, you get to take some apart and build that culture of savings that then goes on to become, investments and all of that as you grow older. And also with the guidance of your parents as well, right? You get exposed to some of like this platforms like United Capital, like I mentioned earlier, even insurance as well, like some of like the education plans that we have, right? So that's like one way that kids as they are growing can begin to build that culture, that habit, of saving and interaction with money. So thank you very much, Olushola. So this person is asking if there are plenty investment companies in Nigeria. Yes, they are. And one of them, like I mentioned, is our sister company, United Capital, PLC. Yeah, Olushola, while there are a lot of questions here, unfortunately, we're really, really against time now. So we'll appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for answering these questions as well. Yeah,
Thank you very much for having me. And thanks again.
absolutely. Thank you. So moving on now, parents and students, there've been a lot of questions on content creation. How can I start? Where do we go from here? Is it distracting? All those kind of things. I think one question I would like to start with for praise is, I mean, you had established it before about how content creating can be a career, but I'm guessing this person just needs a little more clarity. So maybe take us through how it can be a career.
Okay, remember that I said that there is a content creator in every organization, in every company that you go to or that you see. And someone said it in the comment section that Tesla doesn't have a content creator, and that's a lie. If you go to their Instagram page right now, if you have an extra phone with you, you can just go through their Instagram page right now, and all the videos that you see there was created by a content creator. In fact, you can also check the Instagram page or TikTok page, Instagram page of World Bank. There's a content creator in there. So all of these serious organizations that you see, the top organizations that you see, there is a content creator in there. Every organization that you see on Instagram or TikTok, there is definitely a content creator right there. So and like I mentioned earlier, I don't want you to limits the concept of content creating to just influencers or to just TikTok or to just the people that you see making TikTok videos or the people that you see making Instagram videos. The people that also make the billboard that you see, the people that make the adverts that you see on television, the people who make, the jingles that you hear on radio, all of those things, those are content creators, those are communications people. So you can be an animator, you can be a graphics designer, you can be a marketer, you can be in fact, you can just go to Google or ChatGPT right now and say that how can I, what are the job opportunities for a content creator, and you will see a lot of them. So yes, there are opportunities that you can get as a content creator in every organization.
Okay, thank you very much, Praise, for that response. Yeah, it was just apt. Parents, students on the call, you've heard it from Praise. Content creation goes beyond those videos you see on TikTok. They're actual, people that earn their salaries doing all of these things, and and even just like you said, earning like a lot of money doing it. So Praise, someone is asking if can you be a doctor or can you be working in like another industry or career and still want to be a content creator in a way? Is that something possible?
Yes, and a very perfect example is Aproko Doctor. He before he like stops working. I don't even know if he has stopped working in an hospital, but he's a doctor. He's a full time doctor, and he's also creating content, and he makes a lot of money. If a brand will pay Aproko Doctor to make a video for them, they pay him in millions, right? So that's how I want us to start seeing content. You can do any other job and be a content creator. There's another doctor that also creates content online. You can be a mechanic. There's a plumber guy that I always see on TikTok. You can be anything. So far you have your phone and you know how to piece videos together, you can be a content creator. It is something that you can do on the side, and you can start now. Even our parents, you can start now. You can talk about parenting. You can talk about your job. You can talk about the things that are confusing you in life. You can talk about anything. Content creation is it's just that career. Yes, yes, and marketing and everything. You can start now, no matter how young or old you are.
Okay, thank you very much, Praise. I think my key takeaway from that is the core of content creation is communicating, and as with communication, right, there has to be something you want to talk about, and there has to be an action or something you're hoping would come from that. So, do you want people to carry out a certain action, or do you just want to educate people on something? So, the act of passing on that information to people, right? I think that is what Praise has just explained to us as content creation. So yes, you can do it on the side with your other career, but you can also just do it full time. Like you can do it full time and that like becomes like your day job and you still get to earn from it and be successful from it as
Yeah, and
well.
Abisola, let me quickly say something. Another type of content that our kids can create is what I learned in school today. Breaking it down. You learned arithmetics, you learned a new word. You can say, "Oh, I learned a new word today." A short video. I learned a new word today. I learned the word execution. This is what it means, and this is how you can apply it. And then other young people like you will watch it, and you would even see parents saying that, "Oh, my child is inspired by you," or something like that. So those are the type of content that you can create even as a child.
Okay, yeah. So parents, that's it. So we encourage you as much as possible to just guide our kids, the students and children around this particular career because it's something that right from now they can even begin to communicate, share information, what they've learned. I know kids read a lot these days, so oh, I read this book, stuff like that, and just share that knowledge with people, just like we're doing on this call. So yes, content creation is real. So Chris, I'll just take a couple more questions. Oh, someone is asking if they can learn content creation from you. Well, I guess you can, but then maybe you also just want to recommend places where they can learn to create content because just like you said, or like I also mentioned, it's just about communicating, but there are different strategies to it and all of that. So if you could just take one or two, would be really
I
nice.
really love this question because before I also started creating content, I was on YouTube, doing a lot of research. What are the tools that I need to start creating content? You need your phone, sometimes maybe a microphone, and maybe a selfie, like a tripod. Those three things, very basic. Yeah, and you also like need to know how to write, coming up with ideas and stuff like that. So just go on YouTube. How do I start creating content? What type of content can I create as a 12-year-old? Go to ChatGPT, and then also there's if you want to know how to edit, I would advise you to download CapCut. CapCun. There's another tool called VN. You can get that on your App Store or your Google Play Store, and then just go on YouTube. How do I edit videos on CapCut? Video editing for beginners. Using VN, using CapCut. By the time you start there, you start seeing more videos and more videos and more videos, and then from there you become a pro.
All right. Thank you very much, Praise Adio, for answering those questions. I'll take just one more quickly. So what someone is asking, how do you stand out in each of these jobs? So like for content creation now in growing as a person, definitely like how do you stand out and do all of that?
Okay, amazing. So I'll say two things. How do you stand out as a content creator, as a personal content creator, like creating content for yourself? Authenticity is the most important thing. Be yourself. Something that people know Enolua for is eating and eating and eating, right? That is authenticity. Something that people know Aproko Doctor for is simplifying, yes, concepts that medical concepts that are really complicated. So be very authentic, and even for our parents, I'm sure that most of the content creators that do mommy blogs or daddy blogs, you love them because they are real. So you too, you can also be authentic, and that's how you stand out. You don't need to try and be like another person. You don't need to try to be funny if you're not funny. You don't need to. So just be yourself. How do you stand out as a content creator? If you're creating content for an organization, you need to do your research. You need to learn. You need to be able to have the spirit of excellence, that I want to do a great job. I want this video to be very crispy. I want it to be like when people see this billboard, they are willing to take an action. So the way that you can do it is keep learning, keep doing your research, keep taking courses. Yeah, if you understand that.
Okay, thank you very much, Praise. That was very apt in terms of like the responses. So yes, thank you very much everyone for joining the call. You heard Praise. Yes, you can combine your current career, that's for parents, with content creation, and even like young students growing up as well can take content creation. There are a lot of opportunities in it. Just like you said, if you like to draw, you could work being an animator, creating very, very nice visuals could work in marketing as well, which everything just ties back together um, as one. So yes, we hope we've been able to, pass as much information, been able to share knowledge with you today. I know there are a lot more questions that still keep coming in, but unfortunately we can't take them on this call. But as much as possible, just follow us on our social media platforms. We're everywhere on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn as well. Follow us there. Drop your questions in the comments. Drop your questions in the DMs, and we would happily respond to them as quick as possible. It was really nice having everyone on the call today. We appreciate our parents, we appreciate our students, and just a quick information also for participants of this year's essay competition. Once again, we congratulate you for turning in your essay in time. We're currently grading all the essays right now. We're currently reviewing them, and we love, the efforts that our students have put into this. We appreciate it, and we're just also glad to see, how parents are exposing their kids to participating in things like this that helps them, grow. Essentially. So yeah, thank you so much for participating. In due time, we would distribute, your certificate of participation because we do appreciate the time and the effort that has gone into writing those essays. So we would get everyone would get a certificate of participation. Also in due course, we would announce, our finalists, our semi-finalists, and all of that. So please look forward to that. Like I said, check your emails often. Also follow us on social media because that's where you get to first-hand information from us. You can go on Instagram at Heirs Insurance Group. Just type us there, you see us. You can also check us on Twitter, on LinkedIn as well. We're also there. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking our time this afternoon to join us. It was very amazing to have over 500 people on this call today. To our students, we wish you all the best. I know some are just concluding their third term examination. Others are done. Congratulations, moving to the next class. And please know that Heirs Insurance Group is always rooting for you. We're always rooting for students and even parents as well. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do what we do with the Heirs Insurance Essay Championship. So continue to be amazing. And thank you so much for our parents as well. If you have any questions, like I said, regarding insurance, please go to our social media platform and follow us, ask there. Also, please go to our website, www.heirsinsurancegroup.com. We would get to learn a lot more about us there. And you can also check us out on YouTube as well. We're also there. Just type in Heirs Insurance TV or you just type in Heirs Insurance Group and you see our YouTube channel there. Thank you very much, everyone. And we've come to the end of today's webinar. Till the next time we come your way again. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.